everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies featuring Fallout, the official Vault Dwellers cookbook. We're starting this month's recipes off with the appetizer, Mystery Meat-Wrapped Nukalurk, aka Bacon-Wrapped Scallops. This is another recipe that's got stories. This one's a very short one though, so let's tell this one real quick. Scientists have found that wrapping something with bacon increases the deliciousness factor and savory quotient by over 48%, resulting in this delectable recipe. Well, bacon works for almost everything. I can think of a few things bacon probably wouldn't help with very much, but that's another story for another day. Anyway, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's move in that direction. To make this recipe, we'll need 12 sea scallops, and I'm going to have to pour that water off. 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted, a third cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon each of ground cumin and ground fenugreek. I've never used fenugreek before, so this should be an interesting experience. Quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 6 slices of bacon that I've halved, and salt and pepper. Now let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. You'll almost certainly hear the oven chirping in the background as we work on this recipe. I've got the oven preheating to 425 right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a large bowl. I'm going to grab a wooden spoon out for this because I have a feeling doing what they want us to do with my bare hands is probably not going to be a very smart idea. So first we're going to take the scallops and we're going to pour the excess water off from them defrosting. We'll throw those in a large bowl. And then we'll pour the melted butter in there with it. Actually, it might be fine. We'll scrape out as much of the butter as we can. There we are. I think that's as much as we're going to get there. And then we're going to toss the scallops in the melted butter. I realize this isn't exactly tossing the scallops, but it's the best I'm going to do under the circumstances. This is more like mixing the scallops in the butter, but it should get to the same place in the grand scheme of things. So I think that's probably about as good as that's going to get. So now we're going to grab another large bowl and bring that into shot. Next, in a separate large bowl, we're going to take the seasonings except for the salt and pepper, and we're going to combine them together. So we'll start off with our third cup of brown sugar, which I've got in this bag right here. There we go. Give me a little bit of a generous third of a cup, but I think we can work with it. All right. That can get sealed, the brown sugar can get sealed back up. Go back up. Okay, let's see if I can get this up here. There we go. All right, now we want the teaspoon of cumin and the fenugreek. I probably butchered the pronunciation on that, and I'm not sure if I should use this or not. I probably shouldn't, in all honesty. I don't know how it probably punctured in transit, I would suspect. A teaspoon of it probably won't do any damage, though. Otherwise, I'm probably I think what I'm going to end up doing is... Because you might be... Oh yeah, that's definitely punctured. Yeah, I almost certainly shouldn't use this, but like I said, a teaspoon shouldn't do any harm. We've got that in. I'll bag it off for the time being, but I don't know that I'm keeping it. It looks like an Indian spice, which I'm not, admittedly, I don't do much with Indian cuisine for... Well, the main reason is I've heard it's very spicy, and I've made no bones about the fact that spicy and I don't get along at all. So, right. Then we need our 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Okay. That can go back up. And now we'll go ahead and mix that up a bit. See if we can break up these clumps of sugar. Okay. I think we got most of that there. Okay. Next thing we want to do now that we've combined that is we're going to bring the bacon slices in and toss those to season them generously. So here's the bacon going in. Hopefully I can get these coated without tearing any of the bacon slices apart, but let's find out. I think we got most of them coated pretty well in here. Cool. I'll see if I can use most of the spice mixture. Plus, we need to kill some time for the oven to finish coming up to temperature anyway. So I'm going to get these as coated as possible because they're saying that it should be seasoned generously, so we definitely want to make sure we use as much of this as we possibly can. Anytime you want to come up to temperature now, oven, that'll be just fine with me. Actually, I think we've got most of the seasoning used in there now, so they are seasoned as you can see in there. So I'll give my hands a quick wash. I'm just double checking what the recipe calls for next. Just make sure there isn't anything crazy here. And there's the oven coming up to temperature, so perfectly timed there. With that, we need the scallop. Now we need the scallops, and we need our baking dish in shot. They call for a rack and a deep baking dish. I'll give them the rack, but this is the best I've got for a baking dish. As you can see, I've already sprayed it down with Pam, because while the recipe didn't call for the rack to be sprayed down, I like easier cleanup, and cooking spray makes everything clean up a lot easier. So now we're going to take the bacon and wrap it around each scallop, which with the size of this bacon, it's probably going to overwhelm each scallop. Whoa, that butter is already solidifying on me. I need to get these out in a hurry. So yeah, it's going to be almost going to seem more like bacon, almost going to seem like scallop and bacon sandwiches. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to take a toothpick, see if I can secure it through without poking myself, okay, there we go, without poking myself in the finger. That's one. I'll do a couple more of these. So you can see I'm wrapping it in the bacon. Then I'm going to drive the toothpick through to secure everything. And now I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll turn the camera off, do the rest of them, and we'll come back before these are ready to go in the oven. Actually, I'm going to give my hands a quick wash. Because I don't like getting a lot of this spice residue near the button to turn the camera off. So, with that, we're going to turn the camera off so I can prepare the rest of these to go in the oven. The scallops are just about ready to go in the oven. Before we put them in, we're going to sprinkle a little salt and pepper over the scallops. Okay. Now we're going to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. Then we're going to flip them and roast for another 15 until the scallops are cooked through and the bacon's crispy. So I'll move the camera out of the way so I can get into the oven with no problems. There we are. We'll set a timer for 15 minutes. And we'll come back in about half an hour when it's been through both sides. The scallops just came out of the oven. The bacon probably isn't as crispy as it should be here. Good thing I've got some dishwater running so I can get this into the dishes before too long. Anyway, I've got a plate over here as well. So now I'm going to plate these and I'll meet you guys over at my desk for the taste test. I've got the scallops right here. Let's give one of them a taste and see what I think. Definitely smelling some of the spices in here, but let's give this a try and see what I think. The type of bacon you pick for this recipe is definitely going to make a difference. I ended up getting an apple smoke recipe of the bacon at the grocery store this morning, and I'm definitely noticing a sweet taste to it because of that. I'm also noticing a bit of a kick. I suspect that's the fenugreek and or the cayenne pepper coming into the equation. So the group of spices that you get might also make a difference in this recipe. Otherwise, it was actually pretty good. It doesn't make a lot. So be aware if you're going to make this for a lot of people, you're going to need a lot more ingredients than what we used. But that's another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. Next week on Mystical Munchies, we'll be making the side blue cornbread muffins. As for the games, we've still got a busy weekend. We've got a busy week and still a busy weekend to come. So later today, we're going to have the AL wildcard game in my 1991 playoffs of my payoff pitch baseball replay that I've been doing. The Kansas City Royals are going to be visiting the Detroit Tigers in this one. Tomorrow will also feature a double upload. As first, we're going to have a game of Inside the Crease hockey from Inside Sports Games, and then the 91 playoffs will continue with the NL wildcard game as the St. Louis Cardinals travel to Shea Stadium to play the New York Mets. Wednesday will commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day coming up on Thursday as we play D-Day Dice. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.